The goal of this video is to discuss the way one may regain inner serenity, self-esteem, and joy after having been through a relationship that is poisonous. It places a strong emphasis on the necessity of overcoming negative feelings, manipulation, and skepticism in order to achieve emotional wholeness. Through the dissemination of data on the means by which people can safeguard their psychological well-being and develop genuine relationships, the goal of the trip is to assist individuals to grow their wisdom and fortitude. This point in time marks the official start of the change. 1. The invariable negative. If you are always in the company of a negative individual, it is likely that your mental health might experience irreversible harm. It is conceivable that they will experience feelings of sadness and despair as an outcome of their persistent grumbling about how terrible things are. One finds it hard to have a negative outlook on life when they are bombarded with others who are unable to stop their eyes from thinking on the bright side. When their negativity overshadows any optimism that you may have, it may be hard to take joy in the everyday events that occur in your everyday existence. Over the course of time, you could experience feelings of emotional depletion and despair as a result of dealing with their negativity. If you want to maintain your mental health and happiness, you ought to stay around people who tend to be nasty toward you and instead surround yourselves by others who are positive and helpful. 2. Manipulators. Connecting with those who are manipulative is either beneficial to your mental or physical health and should be shunned at all costs. These individuals do not hesitate to employ deceitful methods in order to achieve their own self-serving goals by profiting of the kindness and goodwill of other individuals. By engaging in activities that involve gaslighting, playing on emotions, or guilt-tripping, they have the capacity to harm relationships and undermine trust. It is possible that you might wonder about the reliability of your interactions with them if you get the impression that you are being cheated of and taken in. The establishment of a toxic dynamic, which can lead to psychological distress and instability, can be brought about by persistent manipulation. Both your mental health and your capacity for growth as an individual are improved when you are able to recognize when someone is trying to exert influence over you, and when you are able to set clear boundaries with the individual in question. It is in your best interest to surround yourself with true friends who will stand by your side and whom you can count on and appreciate. 3. The narcissist. Being compelled to deal with relations with people who are narcissistic may be extremely draining on your emotions and can be detrimental to your sense of self-worth. Those that are self-centered and cruel are those who prioritize their own desires and needs over those of people around them. As a result of their persistent need for affirmation and attention, which they frequently demonstrate by downplaying or ignoring your feelings and the events that occur in your life, you may experience emotions of being ignored and insignificant towards them. Narcissists has the ability to make you feel restricted because they disregard your boundaries and take charge of talks. As a consequence of their tricks of the trade and their ability to manipulate your emotions, you can begin to question your own worth and skills. It is vital, in order to acquire the ability to recognize narcissistic conduct and prioritize your own requirements, if you wish to safeguard your mental health and make progress in your life. By establishing boundaries and reducing the amount of time you spend with individuals who bring you down and suck your vitality, you can distance oneself from being around them. 4. When you connect with people who propagate stories or identify personal information without your knowledge, it can be harmful to your relationships and the confidence you have in them. A couple of the ways that gossips get their thrills are by spreading false information and by intensifying disagreements, and they are also big fans of a good drama. It is conceivable that as a consequence of their behavior, friends and co-workers may become more distant and skeptical of them, and they may become less open with intimate details or stories of misfortune. As a result of being the object of rumors, one can suffer an immense amount of shame, embarrassment, and harm to their reputation, all of which may be extremely damaging. When it concerns your relationships or your mental health, it is important to maintain a distance from gossip and to cultivate a climate that is defined by respect and privacy among your social circles. 5. The drama maker. Being into the company of people who are always seeking for a reason to raise a fuss may be psychologically and emotionally exhausting and unpleasant. This is because they are always looking for an excuse to generate more trouble. In order to satiate their cravings for excitement and approval, people who produce drama typically exaggerate even the most little of things or start fights that are completely unnecessary. Regardless of the chaos and tension that they bring into your life, it may be tough to maintain a tranquil and stable existence when they are there. It's possible that their insatiable demands for attention are so overwhelming that you feel like you're getting swept up in their drama. When it comes to protecting your mental health and happiness, it is vital to put your emotional needs first and create boundaries with those who give you undue stress. By surrounding yourselves with others who share your values of peace as optimism, you may contribute to the building of an environment that is nurturing and pleasant, which in turn supports personal growth and happiness. 6. Jealous individuals. The achievement may be challenging and interfere with your confidence. There is a possibility that they may minimize or diminish your achievements, which is a clear or hidden indication of envy. The hostile conduct of the other person, which is intended to diminish your confidence, may cause you to experience feelings of invalidation and disheartenment. Keep in remember that their envy has nothing to do with your worth or your ability. Instead, it is a reflection of their own feelings of inadequacy and concerns regarding oneself. When you are confronted with jealousy, it is important to establish boundaries and maintain your self-assurance in order to protect your emotional health and keep your confidence during the time of crisis. 7. The cynic, the discourteous, the clever. Being in the company of people who frequently pessimistic about life can have a major effect on both your emotional health and your sense of happiness. Because of their gloomy view on life, it may be challenging for them to maintain a positive attitude when confronted with events that are challenging. Their negative view saps your strength and dampens your excitement for attaining your ambitions, which might be harmful to your success. It is possible that their pessimistic view would ultimately enter into your own opinions, so providing you with a vicious spiral that will prevent you from reaching your full potential. If you want to maintain a healthy mind and an upbeat mentality, you should avoid being around individuals who are negative and prefer surround yourself with people who are positive and optimistic. 8. When you communicate with people who are always finding fault with you, it has the potential to bring down your confidence and self-worth for a number of reasons. As a result of their persistent scrutiny and examination, you start to have doubts about who you are and become afraid to be yourself. It leads you to feel vulnerable and weak, and this turn undermines your confidence. Their unfavorable comments are detrimental to your personal self-worth and cause you to question your own skills and successes. Their never-ending criticism has the ability to reduce your excitement in taking chances and following your ambitions, which can eventually restrict your personal growth and happiness. This can be a negative outcome. You should be aware of the impact that their criticism has on your health and set boundaries in order to protect yourself from their negative influence. Place yourself in a room of a yes, uplifting individuals who will inspire you to achieve your greatest potential and will help you soar beyond whatever obstacles you face. 9. The victim perspective. Dealing with people who consistently assume a victim mindset may be difficult and destructive to your relationships. It can also hinder your ability to form healthy relationships. When people avoid taking responsibility for their own errors and instead put the blame on others, they set up a cycle of dependence and manipulation that reinforces itself. They may make an effort to portray themselves as victims on a regular basis in order to avoid taking responsibility for what they have done and to attract others into their circle of dysfunctionalist behavior. It can occur that interacting with people who put on a victim complex might be emotionally tiring and upsetting. Their never-ending need for praise and attention is a drain on your strength and something that is detrimental to your own health. It is of the utmost importance to establish realistic boundaries, to avoid supporting their victim mentality, and to encourage them to take ownership of their own actions and find and recognize solutions to their problems on their own. 10. The egotist. Dealing with egotistical individuals in a relationship is not an easy task, and it may be emotionally draining for you to have to deal with them. Similar to narcissists, egotists prioritize oneself above everything else and lack compassion for those who are in close proximity to them. They may experience negative emotions such as rage and aggravation as an outcome of their inflated sense of self-importance and their utter lack of regard for the feelings and well-being of others. This may cause them to experience these unpleasant emotions. They can take advantage of or manipulate other people to try to accomplish their objectives, and they might do this without giving any thought to how their actions might impact the people around them. Being with egotists may be stressful since they always seem to have the last say and never take the time to examine the perspectives of other people. This might render it difficult to get along with them. When you're in a relationship with someone who is egocentric, it is crucial to set limits and convey your requirements. These are items that you should prioritize in order to ensure your own happiness and success. 11. The dishonest. Connecting with dishonest people on a frequent basis might cause you to develop a wary attitude and can damage confidence in the connections you have. People experience emotions of betrayal and mistrust as a result of their dishonesty and lack of moral fiber, which causes them to lose faith in them. Because of their illegal actions, if it involved manipulation, lying, or dishonesty, the genuineness of your connections and the sincerity of your interactions with them are tarnished. As a result of the continual dishonesty of individuals around you, you begin to question the honesty of those around you and find yourself losing assurance in society as a whole. Setting limits and addressing deception head-on are two of the most important things that can be done to prevent more betrayal. Honesty, confidence, and respect for each other are the qualities that serve as a basis for effective relationships. 12. When you interact with other people who fail to adhere to your boundaries and principles, it is able to make you feel like you are worthless and to generate emotional strain in your relationships. It's probable that their callous disdain for your feelings and basic needs might lead you to feel feelings of devaluation and contempt. The building up of resentment can happen over time if you experience feelings of being excluded and invalidated as a result of their behavior. When it comes to maintaining a positive connection, it is vital to establish firm boundaries and be transparent about what you anticipate from other people. You may enhance your health, happiness, and overall quality of life by surrounding yourself with people who cherish and respect your limitations. This will help you feel better regarding yourself. 13. The unreliable. It is possible that being dependent on people who do not fulfill their obligations on a regular basis can be both stressful and upsetting. Due to their unpredictability, you are subjected to unwarranted difficulty and dismay, causing all of your plans to be thrown off. You make an effort to place your trust in them, but they keep on disappointing you, and you begin to question how much they ought to be relied upon. In order to reduce your reliance on them, it is important to assess the impact that their unreliability has on your health and take into account the possibility of setting limits or searching for alternatives. By surrounding yourself with trustworthy individuals who place an enormous value on honesty and accountability, you may increase the sense of security and trust that you already feel in your peer circles. 14. The user. As a result of people using you as a pawn anytime they require anything, you might feel feelings of being exploited and undervalued. Due to the fact that they do not actually care about your well-being, you will experience feelings of being disposable and undervalued that will ultimately erode the credibility of your connection. Make friendships that are built on mutual respect and reciprocity your top goal, and be cognizant of your own worth. Both protecting your mental health and avoiding being exploited by users may be made easier by stating your needs while setting limits for you. You should surround yourself with individuals who care about you and your enjoyment if you want to increase the number of genuine connections you have and improve the overall caliber of your interactions with others. 15. The control freak. Be in an association with someone who is constantly attempting to tell you what to do may be highly damaging to your growth as an individual. This is because the individual in question is constantly trying to control you. Your sense of capability is diminished, and your sense of autonomy is restricted as a result of your persistent need to be in charge and to micromanage. Due to the way they insist on controlling each component of your existence, there is very little room left for self-expression and exploration. If you wish to preserve a feeling of agency and self-determination, it is essential to make your limits clear and to maintain your independence. It is feasible to cultivate an atmosphere of encouragement that encourages personal growth and fulfillment, by surrounding oneself with others who accept one's independence and encourage one to make progress in their efforts. However, this is not a one-and-done thing. Rather, the chapter emphasizes the need of detecting relationships that are detrimental and striving to mend them so that they may be mended. Identifying the people who are preventing you from attaining your full potential and surrounding yourself with good influences is the lesson that you ought to take away from that. The purpose of this chapter is to advocate for an alternative story, one that focuses on the cultivation of relationships that are highlighting and on the growth of self-worth. We are very pleased of the fact that you have joined us on this journey with us. You are about to start a new chapter that contains an immense amount of possibilities for you.